All right, welcome everybody. It is September 18th, 2025. I am just amazed that this year is almost over. And is anybody else kind of confused why Christmas stuff is up already and why Halloween stuff's been on up since August? I don't understand. This is the weirdest year. You can get all kinds of stuff right now. Anyway, uh, sorry to go off on that tangent.
It's holiday
My name
season all year long. That's what it is. It's just every holiday you can find it all year long.
That's amazing. Anyway, my name's Sue Brooke. I am well, I'll just introduce myself and then I'll let Cherri do that. Today, just to let you know, you're in this business mastery series. This is a new series we're doing with free business training in the business growth and relationships group. We'll give you all those links at the end so you make sure you are set so you can join all of our other amazing events coming up. Today's session is called Relationship Marketing Secrets to Lifelong Customers. Isn't that what we all want? So, just to introduce myself, I am a serial entrepreneur. I've owned business for, gosh, I was thinking about this like 40 years ago. I opened my first business, which was a ballroom dance studio. My claim to fame is a school that I owned for many, many years that I talk about in this training because all my customers never ever left and they told everybody to come. So like it was complete referral based business. And so I love to share all the things that I did and what I do to keep my customers happy. I also help with business consulting and marketing. I'm a speaker and a trainer and a relationship marketing networking expert. And that little picture down in the bottom right corner, over the last 5 years, I have been traveling all over the country. You can see all those purple dots is where I've been in my motorhome. If you can't tell, I'm living in my motorhome. And just meeting business owners. And I have been a consultant working for Alignable the last 5 years. I'm not doing that anymore. But so my goal in life is to give as much business training as I possibly can to help you all be successful. Cherri and I wrote a book called Networking with Heart. I'll share that with you too. Cherri, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, so those of you who don't know me, I am a busy business owner. I have multiple businesses, but I my newest, I guess, adventure is the relationship and gratitude marketing consulting that I do because that's how I grew my businesses. I own custom plumbing. I'm also the founding Alignable Alliance ambassador. So that was kind of my brainchild was Sue sitting in my kitchen over a glass of wine. How can we help these business owners get back to networking? So super proud of that moment. Also speaker author. So this is the second book I've done, and this one is on relationship marketing. This one was tailored to the construction industry because that's the language I speak the most. I am also an energy healer, so I wear multiple hats and huge holistic wellness advocate. So that's
Awesome.
just a little bit about me, and I am just a very active member on here.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we're going to talk about relationship marketing. A lot of people don't really know what a relationship marketing is. So, Cherri, go ahead and take it away. Give us the definition.
Yeah, basically what it says here, and I get the ask this all the time. I've never heard relationship marketing. Guess what? I didn't know what it was either. It's just something I did. So, what is the definition of it? Relationship marketing is a strategy that emphasizes building and nurturing long-term relationships. I did that in my business. I tried all the other things you'll hear about. It didn't work. So focus on long-term relationships rather than focusing solely on customer acquisition and one-time transactions. I don't like the one-time transactions because that's hard work. So I want to have the repeat customers. I want those people that know me, like me, trust me, love me, and we focus on building that relationship. A lot of times people don't realize how much time it takes though to build a relationship. It's not a quick fix. So it's not like that quick pill to, lose weight or do whatever. It doesn't, it's the same with business. So again, as long as you're in there for the long game, and not everybody is going to be your people. So it's deciding who your people are.
Yes, and it's amazing to me, like what Cherri says. So, what you said something I wanted to bring up. We don't want to work hard. Cherri and I have been in business for a long time. We are now in our 60s, just to throw it out there. I'm proud of
Oh
my age,
God.
actually. We both recently had birthdays, but you know what? We have a lot of we've worked really hard in our lives and our businesses, and that's why we're teaching you guys this. We want to teach you not to work so hard either, because guess what? It's real. Let's talk about customer acquisition costs, the cost. And time and money is cost. It's not always just money. Your time is valuable, right? So it's really important to know how much it costs to acquire a new customer. Okay, so here's a formula that you need to use. You can use this. Okay, you might want to write this stuff down. The customer acquisition cost is this. So you take how much it costs, your sales costs and your marketing costs, how much it costs you to get a customer. Okay, then you divide that by the number of new customers that you actually acquire by doing that. Okay, by spending that money. For example, um, okay, so if you spend, let's say you spend $1,000 on marketing, you put out some Facebook ads, you do whatever it is, if you pay for $1,000 on marketing and advertising, and you get 2 customers from that marketing, then each one of those customers costs you $500 each. Okay, if you spend $1,000 on marketing and you get 1,000 customers, each one of those customers costs you how much? $1, right? So the goal here is not to have so much marketing costs. So we're trying to eliminate that. So the difference between customer acquisition and customer retention, according to Harvard Business School, the increasing your customer retention rates by just 5%, 5% can boost your revenue by 25 to 95%. This means that if just 5% more of your customers that you actually have keep purchasing from your company and keep referring you to people, you can see an increase of 25 to 95% of profits. It's crazy. Do you want to go, Cherri?
Yep. So yeah, like Sue just talked about, acquiring that customer is 5 to 25 times more expensive. Hear that word, expensive, more than retaining those existing ones. So what we want to do, we're gonna talk a little bit about, the decreasing the customer acquisition costs and increasing your customer lifetime value. So stay tuned. But so people are focusing on spending more money trying to get those new customers. Not necessary. When I did that, when we first started our business, I spent so much time and money. And when I looked at it, I mean, I was in the negative. But when I focused on building the relationships, it was like night and day. So my customer acquisition cost was very minimal. So spend more time getting to know people instead of trying to find new customers. Appreciate the ones that you already have. So bring gratitude and appreciation into what you're already doing. So again, people look at this and it's like, oh, the 80-20 rule. There's a lot of these 80-20 things out there, but this is so important to understand. 80% of your time really should be on building relationship. And the other 20% is on your other marketing. Because we do live in a very noisy world, you need to have multiple touch points. And that 20% are your other touch points. But the 80% is your relationships that you want to nurture.
All right. I just this is weird. Okay, sorry, guys. All right. So what are the benefits of relationship marketing? Customer satisfaction. That's the first one. Okay, well, let's talk about customer satisfaction. I love this quote. Just having satisfied customers isn't good enough anymore. If you really want to boom business, you have to create raving fans. There's a book I read called Zilch, I think it was called, and it was about this girl who she wrote this book. I'm trying to remember the nonprofit. It was the nonprofit did something with clothing to help people get jobs. Anyway, one of the things that she said, the way to grow your business using zero money. That's what this book was about. And one of them was create raving fans, just like sports teams, right? Sports teams are businesses. And look at their raving fans. They wear t-shirts and hats and they have flags and they fly these things everywhere. Well, don't you want that for your business? Okay, so building relationships really requires commitment, nurturing, and time. So to create a strong emotional customer relationships, it's not just crucial to keep your customers on the front and center and really focusing on them, but go beyond the transactional relationships. This is where relationship marketing comes in. So go ahead, Cherri.
Yep, it's relational over transactional. Just remember that. Okay, so also here, let's see, where are we? Sorry, you lost my train of thought where I was going. So satisfied, happy customers are more likely to become repeat customers and those raving fans. And I'll tell you, I have a story around that. I just was at a golf tournament for our construction company. I'm part of the Builders Exchange. And a lot of my repeat customers were there. Some of my customers were, or we hadn't worked together in a while. My book had just been published, so it's out. And I received some amazing calls and they're like, you know what? We are your raving fans and we need to take care of you. I mean, there are so many stories that go beyond that, but take care of your people. They are going to be your raving fans. And these are backed by numbers. So 73% of the consumers perceive customer experience as an important factor when making purchasing decisions. Absolutely. That one of the contractors, won't mention any names, but it was like, oh my God, I wish we would have stayed with you, because going with someone else became a nightmare for them. They didn't know them. They were the low number in the pot, and it cost them in the end. We got more stories.
Yes. And the bottom line is really customers do not leave because of price. And I have a story for this because this is so true. And 89% of customers are lost because of poor customer service or they don't feel appreciated. So here's the thing. When I had opened my tutoring business, so I started a tutoring business out of my home after I was teaching, and I worked for a big, huge Sylvan Learning Center, actually, a big franchise tutoring business. I decided to start my own business. Well, I started my own business as most people start a business. We want to help everyone, right? We want to help a lot of us want to help the people that can't afford the big, like I wanted to help all the people that I had to turn away from the big franchise because it was expensive. And I was in a community, I was near a community where most people didn't have that kind of money, but I really wanted to help these kids, right? So I decided to open my business and charge just a little bit for tutoring. It was the lowest cost, cheapest tutoring anywhere around, okay? So I got a lot of customers from that when I started my business, but then I realized pretty quickly that when I actually moved into a location, there was a lot of money that I had to pay. I had to start hiring tutors and I had insurance, all those things that you do when you open a business. And I had to raise my prices. If I didn't raise my prices, I was so cheap, it was not going to pay my bills. And so I was so scared. I was literally terrified to raise my prices because I thought everybody's going to leave, right? But I took such good care of my customers that I started slowly raising my prices so I could stay in business, right? And I could offer everything that I need to offer. And nobody left. And I moved them a little higher and nobody left. I moved a little higher. And literally, the higher my prices went, I offered just tons of value. I took really, really good care of my clients and nobody left and they still told people to come. They referred people to me. So when you take care of your customers and you really make them feel appreciated, they're never going to leave you, even if you have to raise your prices. That is the I am proof of that. Okay, let's talk about repeat business. Go ahead, Cherri.
Okay, I just want to add to that. And sometimes they may leave you because they're like, oh my God, that they raised their prices. I got to go to somebody that's not so much money, because I know that happened with us. And guess what? They came back Why? Because we took care of them. These other people did not take care of them. They were in it for only the transaction, only the money. But we were there and with, I mean, everything that we did, we cared about our customers. So we took really good care of them. So those people came back to us. So don't be afraid to raise your prices. You know, your time and money, you know, is worth it. Okay, so repeat business, kind of what I was just leading to. Customers more likely to spend more with companies they've already done business with. I just kind of told that story. I had a customer who I used to be the low bidder in town, and then I became the highest. And people left, but then they came back, and it's like, okay, we're not leaving you again. But can we work together? How can we work on this? Again, it's building that solid relationship. So existing customers more likely to purchase additional products and services from you. So we in my business, we're a commercial plumbing company. Do we have other products and services? Yeah, we can do some service work for people. So people, they know what we do on the commercial side of it. And so they'll call us and go, hey, we've got this going on. Can you help us out here? So they come to us first. So I'm able to offer more services.
Yes, and I'm going to jump in and talk about actually. I was thinking about that with Jennifer, who's in the call today. So she has a pet business, so she does pet sitting and grooming and all kinds of things like that. And so she was on our mastermind the other day, and it really got me thinking about all of the products and services she could offer. Like, people love her, and they are going to continue. If you, Jennifer, started offering all of these affiliate links to different dog collars and cat carriers or whatever things for pets, people are going to trust you that those products and services are going to be good for them, and they're going to keep buying from you no matter what you put out there. And that's for everybody here. So think about different things you can offer. So in my tutoring business, I started just tutoring, and then I added an after school program, and I offered summer camps. I offered extra classes on different things. I offered parenting classes. I just kept adding more and more stuff, and people trusted us so much, and we took such good care of them that they just kept buying from us and telling other people about you. So
Yeah. And I love that. And people, a lot of times I hear people say, well, I don't know what else I can offer. Well, guess what? That's where you need to start thinking outside the box. And a lot of times people don't realize how important it is to think outside the box, or maybe they don't know how. I'm going to highly recommend reading this book, Leadership and Self-Deception, Thinking Outside of the Box. That is a must read for every business owner on the planet. I'll put the link in the chat after. So when you learn what your customers' needs and wants are, you can personalize recommendations for relevant products and services. So let them get to know who you are, get to know who they are. The recommendations, the referrals kind of go hand in hand. They're back and forth.
yeah. And that's where affiliate marketing comes in too. You know, I have a ton. If you go to my website on tools and resources on SueBrooke.com, I am always, if I find a tool or a resource or a program or something that I am really have high conviction in, then I will list them on there. But I've already made a deal with the people that do that. I'm like, hey, I'm going to tell my tribe about this, and I get a little cut of that. That's where I can recommend a lot of things to people, and I get additional income, which you should all be doing that with something that has to do with your business. Okay, let's keep going because our time is going faster than I thought. Let's talk about a competitive advantage. All right. I love this. This is kind of what we were just talking about. Loyal customers are less likely to be swayed by competitors. That's what when I kept raising my prices, even though that my competitors had lower prices, they never left. They're more likely to recommend your business to other people. Word of mouth marketing, best kind of marketing, right? Loyal customers also provide valuable feedback. This is huge, you guys. I just talked about this in my event this past week about how to attract the right customers to you. So if you have some really great customers that you just love and that love you, I should say, you're raving fans, They are very open to providing feedback that you can use to keep improving your products and services. I teach this all the time in my how to get those raving fans, those most profitable customers. You want to talk to them and you want to ask them for feedback. Okay, you want to ask them, hey, what do you think of this new marketing campaign? What do you think of this new product? How can I make my business better? Those people love you so much that they will help make your marketing better. Okay, so get feedback from them. Really, 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 really important. Whoops. And the last one is they will not shop around for a bargain. As long as you maintain that superior value and you've created those raving fans who love you and you've taken really good care of them, they are not going to go shop around. Okay, they're going to do whatever you say to do. Okay. Go ahead, Cherri.
So again, got some studies here. Studies found that 81% of the consumers are willing to pay more for better customer service. Absolutely, hands down. I can't tell you the things I pay more for because I get good customer service.
100%. Go ahead, keep going.
So what are we on? Oh, customer advocacy. Say that 3 times. According to, again, the Nielsen survey, 92% of the consumers trust recommendations from family and friends over any form of advertising. This is huge, huge. So I know on Alignable, they did a poll here, and in Alignable's poll, it was 86% was word of mouth referrals on here. So
And that's why recommendations are such a big deal, especially, recommendations and referrals, Google, all that stuff. But on Alignable, there's recommendations. So that's really, really good. You want to write recommendations, you want to get recommendations from people, but word
but
of
be
mouth,
authentic. Be
yeah, authentic.
authentic. Do not write them just to write them. Do not send them if you have not had a one-to-one or done business with them. So be authentic.
Yes. So, but the bottom line on this thing is word of mouth referrals are the most important. That's why you want to create the raving fans and love on your customers and appreciate them so they'll tell everybody about you. Now, here's my favorite thing to talk about. Come on. Customer lifetime value. Okay, I'm going to go over this and then we both have stories for this. This is probably the most important thing to know in your business. If you do not know how much each one of your customers is worth, you don't know which ones are the worth more than the other ones and how to find more of them. So we're going to give you a formula here. What is customer lifetime value? It's the total revenue a business can expect to generate from a single customer over the course of the time that you have a relationship with them, that they are with you. Okay. Building strong relationships with customers leads to higher customer lifetime value. So here is, whoops, gosh darn it. Here's the formula. Okay. So first of all, you take the average amount, the value of a customer purchase. Okay, so here an example for me was when I had my tutoring business, my average, when I had a lot of different services that I provided, let's say my average was $500. So a person would pay $500 for one purchase. Maybe you sell dog collars and they're 50, $5 or whatever that is. Okay, come up with the average value of a customer service purchase. Then you multiply that by how many purchases they do over the coming year. Like a hairstylist, Cherri's going to maybe talk about that. But you go to the hairstylist so many times in a year. So if you're a hairstylist, figure out that average cost that they pay for that hair service and how many times per year they come. Okay, you got to get that one. And then you have to multiply that number by how many years they're going to stay with you. Okay, the average lifetime retention, they're going to stay with you. Okay, that's your customer lifetime value. Let me just show you. So here's my explanation. So a tutoring student, like I said, back when I had my tutoring business, a month was $500. That was an average. Okay, so but they're not just staying 1 month. They were not going to just stay with month. But a lot of people think, oh, that customer's worth $500. No, that little kid would come for a year. I wanted them to stay at least a year. So I took the $500 times the 12 months, that student's worth $6,000 for that year. But that's not where it starts. That's not how much that customer is worth. I wanted that little kid, especially when they came in when they were in kindergarten. I wanted them to stay with me for their whole entire school, right? So, oh my gosh, my thing is, so let's say they stayed 12 years, okay, all the way through school. That kid that came in that was starting with $500 a month, 6,000 a year, they stayed 12 years, that's $72,000, but that's still not where it stops. That kid that I had, and I'm talking about one particular, is my very first student. They referred so many people to me, I can't even tell you. They told everyone on their block, they told their teacher, they told everybody. I mean, they referred that family referred so much business to me that that child was probably worth $1 million to my business. Honestly, they referred so many people to me who stayed with me forever. You got to really think about this. How much are your best customers worth? Cherri, talk about your landscaper here.
Yeah. So with my landscaping, so I want to see what I was paying. So I did do one for my hairdresser too, and landscaping I want to put in. So average, I pay him $200 a month, right? So in over 12 months, it's $2,400 a year. 15 years working with them, it's $36,000. But his referral business is off the charts. I don't even know what that number is right now because I have referred him to so many people. So do you think he's going to take care of me? I'm giving him referrals every single day. And the really cool thing about this landscaper, he's become one of my really great referral partners because he refers my business out as well. But this is the one that when Sue and I started playing around with this event and we started talking about customer lifetime value, she's like, have you ever really thought about that with your plumbing company? I'm like, no, I pay my bills. I pay my employees. I pay my taxes. I got money in the bank. I don't care. And she goes, let's do this. I'll never forget that day. And so I took the formula and I've been working with this company well over 20, almost 23 or 24 years now. But when I did this, I did it in 20 years. So do I have a thing there? Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So 20-year relationship with this contractor, I did over $100 million in repeat and referral business. And I was like, what? So when you take, I am going to challenge you to take that formula and do this with your business. Do it with what you're paying out. Do it with money you're receiving. Take a look at this. This is huge. This customer of mine is still one of my top GCs that I work with.
Yeah, I'll never forget that day. I'm like, you don't know what customer lifetime value is and you own a business? Come on. That's like the most important thing. And when I said, okay, how much did this person refer to you? Like how much business has he given to you? And we did the whole thing. And she's like, he has referred and given us over $100 million in business. Cherri made that much money on one person, one company that refers her. That's just, I mean, this can happen for you when you start thinking about this kind of stuff. So okay, here we go. Come on. Relationship marketing strategies, just a couple of things that I'm going to tell you a story. So be consistent with what you're doing in your marketing efforts, and you will eventually see results. So I'm going to tell you a story about Joe Girard. I don't know if you guys have read this book, How to Sell Anything to Anybody. Joe Girard was, to me, this book is a great read. It's a really great story. Joe, just to let you know who he is, he got the Guinness Book of World Records for selling the most cars in a year. He was a car salesman, and this is a long time ago. Back in the 70s, he started, I believe, and wrote this book. And he's the epitome of relationship marketing. So here's what basically this book says he did. And someone literally not that many years ago finally broke his record for selling. He sold like, I don't know, 1,500 cars or so in a year and 15,000, somewhere around those numbers in his whole career of selling cars. And here's how he did it. So he decided he didn't want to be the proverbial car salesman. You know, back in the day, the car salesman had a very bad name because they would just attack you when you go into the the uh the dealership. And he's like, well, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So what he did is every single person he met, and this is not every single person that bought a car from him or walked into the dealership. He could be standing in line at a coffee shop or whatever. And he would meet people and he'd get to know them. He would get to know who they are. If they had a partner or a spouse of some sort, maybe he had kids. He would talk to them. He would find out when their anniversaries were, their birthdays, and they find all those kind of things out. And he would send them handwritten cards in the mail every month. So every single month, every person he met would get a card from him, a greeting card. It would be maybe a birthday card, maybe a Halloween card, a holiday card, or whatever. They weren't necessarily marketing cards. I think it was 13 cards a year that he sent. So he'd send one every month, plus, maybe a holiday or birthday. So imagine this. So here's what happened. By the end of his career, he had lines of people waiting outside of his office. He had to have someone standing at the door to let everybody in one at a time because all those people, they refused to buy a car from anyone else, only him. Because why? They got something from him every month. They knew he appreciated them. And imagine, let's say the neighbor, you've been doing this, or someone's been doing this, Joe's been doing this to you, and you've been getting a card, and your neighbor gets in a car accident and says, I need to buy a new car. Do you have any suggestions? Who are you going to suggest? You're going to suggest Joe because he stayed in touch with them and made them feel special. So I love this book. You definitely should read this book. I love it. Oh, Cherri, you can talk about this.
Yep. So, and I love that story. And it's funny because I do that with all my customers, and I did not read that book. And it's just something I do. And I think when Sue started to say Halloween, because I do send the Halloween cards, it's one of my favorite. And I put a story in the cards, and my customers love it. They keep the cards because I have fun with my cards. Anyway, so some of the things that are so important, again, get personal. Relationships are all about building, relationships are building with people. Do not treat people like numbers. I have to tell this because I get the heebie-jeebies with numbers. We are not numbers, we are human beings. And I will never forget when my mom was in the hospital, she was diagnosed with cancer, she had surgery, and I was out in the hallway trying to get myself together before going in and seeing her. And I overheard the nurses and doctors kept talking about bed 262. And I will tell you, I lost it. I completely lost it. I went up there and just screamed at them and told them she is a human being laying in that bed. I felt so bad after doing that. But the next day, I apologize. And they said, you know what? Thank you for reminding us that these are humans in the bed. And it's the same thing with business. Don't treat people like a number. So I've got a company that works with me right now. They're like, oh, what's your ID number? No, I have a name. If you can address me by my name, then you don't get to do business with me. Treat people like people, not numbers, please.
I mean, look at Starbucks. Starbucks asks for your name. There's different coffee shops that ask for
Yes.
your name. What's your name? Hey, Sue, your coffee's ready, whatever. So, I mean, just think about that in your business.
Yep.
Whoops. And then,
Yep. And then again, get to know them on a personal level, and they will be more likely to do business with you. They could even become your best friends, your best referral partners. Who knows?
yes. And the other thing is just a few other tips on how to build those relationships and get people to love you and become your raving fans is be responsive, answer their questions promptly, and address their concerns. If they give you a call, answer the phone, like get back to people right away. Don't be those companies that take 5 days to get back in touch with you. It shows that you value their business and that you're committed to providing excellent customer service. Just a little tip there. So gratitude, what, sorry.
Oh, you missed one on the last one. Oh, no. Oh, no, there it is.
Go ahead. Go ahead with this one.
Okay, so again, show gratitude. And I do an event, and it's coming up called The Fortune is in the Follow-Up. And it is all about bringing gratitude and appreciation. And that is how I grew my business to landing those $100 million customers through gratitude. Thank them for their business. Thank them, let them know how much you value them. But I also send birthday cards or I send condolences, and you'll hear all about that in Fortune in the follow-up. But let them know you care about them. This will make them feel valued and appreciated, and they will be more likely to continue doing business with you. And
Yeah.
you'll hear it. My contractors tell me I've got every single card you've ever sent. The tangible thank you card generates more referral business than any other form of communication. And why?
Hands down.
We live in a noisy, noisy, noisy world. And so people think that it's only the email marketing or the text messages are going to get through. It is not. I can promise you that. When you get something sweet in the mail that they get to physically open up, that's who they're going to remember.
Yes, and I these two stories I've been telling for years. Mary Kay Cosmetics. This is also true. This thank you thing. She taught she multi-billion-dollar empire. You know, Mary Kay. We all know there's still I still meet Mary Kay consultants. Mary Kay taught all of her reps to write 3 handwritten thank you notes every night before bed, and I know that they still do that. Um, Tom Hopkins, he wrote a book and in the book he talks about the thank you note habit. He's multi-billion dollar, I think, real estate uh business, right? And he always says 10 handwritten thank you notes every single day. Okay, thank you, thank your customers, darn it, thank them. Okay, they will feel appreciated. I can't people think, oh yeah, okay, I can send a thank you. It's a bigger deal than that. When I had my tutoring business, I'll never forget. Oh, I I haven't told this story in a long time. I remember, so people would come in and take a tour of my tutoring and after school program. Okay, so I'd get people coming in, and wow, this story, it's crazy. I haven't told it in so long. I'll never forget this. So, we this lady, well, I was in my office, and one of my directors knocked on my door and said, "There's a lady that's really unhappy that is on the phone and wants to talk to the owner." And I was like, "Why?" And so answers the phone, and I said, "What can I help you with?" And she said, "Well, I just want to let you know that we came in. I brought my son in, and we took a tour of your facility. We really liked it and everything. And I'm just really upset. We really liked it." And I said, "What's the matter?" She goes, "Nobody followed up with me. Nobody nobody contacted me to follow up with me." And she said, "I'm really upset." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh." I couldn't believe it. I was so embarrassed. And long story short, after that phone call, I smoothed it over with her and everything. And after that phone call, I got my staff together and I said, "Okay, I went down the street to Target. I bought a whole thing of thank you cards. I just bought a giant box of thank you cards." And I said, Our new procedure now is every single time somebody new, when a new customer comes in, takes a tour, whatever, comes in to inquire, you before they drive away, you better have a thank you card written with their address on it in the post in the box, so that when on your way home, you're going to go take it to the post office. And I'm not kidding you. Not long after that, I got a phone. Somebody came in or they called me and they said, "You know what? I am so excited to sign up with you and bring my son or daughter, whatever." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because we toured all the other tutoring business after school programs in the neighborhood, and you're the only one that sent us a thank you card." And I was like, "That is our procedure for then on." And that's what I could raise my prices. I could have quadrupled them and nobody would leave, because that is what made them continue to be with us. So I hope that got to you. People really do business with people they know, like, and trust. If they remember you. People forget about this, okay? That's the part of this that everybody forgets. They have to remember you. That's why those thank you cards are so important, or just keeping in touch, like Joe Gerard, sending a card every month to keep people remembering you. You got to help them, make them remember you. And I'm going to give you the saddest story. Actually, I'm not I'll just leave it up there. So This happened several years ago. I was in a mastermind group, and one of the members wrote a post in the group and said, I just made the most expensive mistake of my entire business career. He said, every year, and it was around the holiday season, he said, every year I send holiday cards to my current customers and my prospects. That's it. But this year, he said, I decided I was going to go back to all the people I bought and sold. I helped buy houses and help sell houses. And I decided to go ahead and send cards to them too. But here's what happened. This picture right here, all those cards, all those envelopes came back, returned to sender, not at this address. And he was so confused. And he went to the MLS and he found out that these were all his past customers that he'd helped buy and sell houses. He was their realtor. And they all had bought and sold houses with other realtors because they forgot about him. He didn't stay in touch with them. This kills me. So those little red things there, those are amounts. Those are, that's how much commissionable, his commissionable sales that he lost because he didn't stay in touch with them. He figured out how much money he would have made if he was their realtor. And that's how much money he lost. So much money, millions of dollars in commissionable sales. So I hope that just tears my heart up and my hair stands up on my arms every time I tell that story. But please do not forget your past customers. I don't care what you're selling, if it's a little tiny keychain or if it's a house or a building or an airplane, whatever. Keep in touch with them. They can be your biggest referral partners, and you never know when they're going to need you again. Any last minute things about this?
No, I have lots more stories on that, but again, they're going to be in the fortunates and the follow-up.
Yes. So you want to talk about our new group we're so excited about?
Yeah. So some of you may know Sue had this group. It was Mastermind with Sue, and it was one of the very first groups when we joined here, and Sue came on as an employee, and or actually before. Anyway, so we've rebranded it. I'm actually closing some of my groups, merging them in here. Super excited because Sue and I are kind of like two peas in a pod. We both are really based on relationship and gratitude and helping business owners. You know, we've been there, done that, gone through a lot of the stuff. And me personally, I don't want to see people struggle as many years as I did. It's like we've got tools and we're happy to share them with people. So we've created this group. So it's a business growth and relationship community. We've created the Business Mastery series. We're going to be bringing more experts in. There will be criterias that need to be met to be the experts in our series. But we're also going to continue with our every Friday mastermind, which has been going for over 5.5 years. And then we'll have some smart connects that are happening. But in the meantime, we've got the fortune is in the follow-up. We got Chuck Casto doing What's PR. You don't want to miss that. I'm bringing back my fun and effective one-to-one. And then of course we're doing this. And then Sue does her how to attract the right customers. So you'll see. And then Jason's doing selling without selling, and Joe's his GPT. So if you're not in the new business growth and community, make sure you're in that group. It used to be the Mastermind with Sue. So that's where this is being held right now.
Yeah, so this is, if you want to use the QR code and share, if you can post 2 things in the chat, post the link to the group, and I'll shut this down and then I'll post the link that goes along with this QR code. But you want to make sure that here's the thing. So we want to make sure that if you're in the group and you want to be, you want to be reminded that, and you want to be get all the announcements of any new events that we have coming up and opportunities. What Cherri didn't tell you is there's going to be a ton of opportunities. One is coming very, very soon. I've been talking about this for a while. Is I'm creating a compilation book where I want you to be an author in the book. And that is coming really, really soon, getting our first of many books going. Cherri has an amazing inner circle type mastermind that she is going to be rolling out pretty soon. It's already started with a beta test. Now she's opening it up to anybody. That's coming. You will, if you're in that group, you'll have a chance to do like mini TED Talks. You'll be able to come in and practice your presentations. You'll be able to get some personal development. There's so many things that we're going to do in this group. So this QR code is to get you on our list so we can let you know when all this stuff is launching, because we literally just got this all together last week. So I'm really super excited about that. So I'm going to stop the share. And if you guys want to, I'm going to go to view the gallery. If anybody has any questions, please go down to the hand react button and raise your hand. And Cherri, go ahead. I'm going to go and get those links while you're answering any questions. Any questions?
Okay, yeah, I put the one in there. So any questions, comments?
And do you guys get something out of this?
No questions?
I
Oh,
just want to
Cherri.
thank you. I thank you so much for relighting my fire, so to speak. I've kind of stepped away from stuff due to some lifing things. And so this was the perfect place to come because it's all heart-centered, and isn't that what everybody wants? So thank you, ladies. I'm looking forward to your series, etc. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It is so true. Like Cherri and I are all about being building relationships. And when we decided to rename Mastermind with Sue, because it's not all about me, and my heart, both of us, our hearts and passions are to help small businesses. It's my purpose in my life to help all business owners be successful. So I wanted to name the group what it is: business growth. We want your business to grow. My goodness, we want to hear so many success stories, and relationships, because relationship marketing is what you need in your business. So now Jason Integrity, he's a big influencer on Alignable. Joe Moore is a big influencer on Alignable. Chuck Casto, he has been with Alignable. He and I are no longer official employees of Alignable, but we are partnering together to offer so much. We have all the biggest influencers on Alignable in that group and offering a lot of awesome events. So definitely get connected with the Smart Connects next week. Joe and Jason are hosting some great Smart Connects on Mondays and Tuesdays. So come there and start building those relationships. Jimmy, go ahead.
Right. Thank you so much for doing this today. I don't have a question. I have a comment. So, oh gosh, back at the beginning, when you mentioned about raising prices and you were concerned that you would lose customers, when you mentioned that, it reminds me of a story I heard about a long time, number of years ago, about when Disney first started opening up in the preparation of opening up Disneyland. They at first were going to price the admission tickets very, very low, thinking that more people would attend. But what happened is that when they did a focus group, they found out the opposite, because they said what they found out from that focus group is that by pricing the tickets so low, people don't see a value. They say, oh, it's not worth it. So they raised the price, and the rest is history. I mean, now sometimes you feel like you have to take out a second mortgage to bring the whole family to Disney World. But, that just shows that, pricing is not necessarily a deterrent, because if people see the value, they would be willing to pay what it is that you charge them.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. I want to address some questions that are in the chat. So people are asking about handwritten cards versus computer. I just have a quick story on that. So I was that person who would go down to Target or the dollar store, and I would use the handwritten cards. And then it wasn't until I partnered with a company in 2018 that things really changed. And I had asked my customers, because they would tell me that they had all my cards that I've ever sent. And I said, oh, I said, all of them? And they said, well, not the handwritten ones that you sent from the stores. And I said, oh, what's the difference? And they said, because you put pictures of our family or our dog or our friends or whatever, or our business. And so that made a huge difference. That was the big eye opener for me. I want them to remember me. They did not remember me with a handwritten card. So it's, I'm not dissing it, but if that's what you do, think about other way. And are you staying top of mind with them that way? Is it making an impact? When I partnered with this company is where the impact came in. So my $100 million contractors are all over the place right now. It's multiple contractors because I will not let anybody forget about me because I don't forget about them.
Awesome. You guys want to make sure that you're in Cherri's 2 events that are coming up next week. Fortune's in the follow-up. She's going to tell you about that. Cherri, why don't you put in your
I'm gonna put my link tree in.
Yeah, just schedule time with Cherri to talk about that because she's the queen of it. So and then the fun and effective one-to-ones, just know that that's just a really fun event and it's a Smart Connect, so you'll get to meet people. Let me post these 2 events in the chat.
While you're posting that, Sue, because fun and effective one-to-one is coming up and it is in the Smart Connect format with alignable Smart Connect. Please make sure your profiles are filled out with your ideal customer referral partner tags, because that is who you're going to get potentially beamed into a room with. So make sure your profiles are filled out. But yes, we're going to have some fun in there.
All right. So anyway, just go to the group, you guys. There's just so many events in there. I'll just post one more time, post that link, Cherri, and we'll let you guys all go if you don't have any other questions.
One last thing. So again, personal development. Sue mentioned that real quick. So watch for some things called story time. So we're going to be doing story time. I do these in my inner circle group. And I will tell you the power behind story time. People have released some how should I say, traumas in their life that have held them back in business. And I'm hoping to bring them on as guest speakers, because once we uncover some of the stuff that's holding us back, our businesses will explode. So this is really about personal development for business growth. So stay tuned because we got some amazing things for you.
Yes, we're really excited. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. I hope you got a lot out of it. Did you? Any thumbs up? I hope. Yay. Okay. Well, keep in touch with us. Definitely reach out to Cherri and we'll hopefully see you on all of our events next week. We have a lot of things, and Mastermind on Friday. My goodness, don't miss that. That's our best event. You can ask a question and get help with anything with your business. So definitely go. I posted that business growth and relationship community. Go there, click the link, get in there, get on our list, because that's how you're going to hear about it. You might hear about it if you're not on the list through Alignable, but if you want our best stuff, we're going to send it to you in an email, and we're not going to spam you. Trust me, we don't like emails any more than you do. So all right, you guys, thank you, Cherri. This was fun. I'm glad we did this again. That was great.
All right.
Hope you guys had a great day.
Bye.